Welcome back, ladies and gents. Sorry for the delay between games 1 and 2 of this series of Vega Squadron versus NiP. The patch hit right in between games, so don't worry, the hats were delivered safe and sound, but it did delay our game 2 a little. I'm Zyori, joined again by Kotlguy. Dakota, how you feeling, man, after that short break?
Feeling pretty good. We had a bit of an update there. I'm not sure exactly the details of it. More hats, I know for sure.
There were definitely hats. I can confirm that. Anything else, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know we were questioning if the ticket was going to be there or not. I don't think that's the case right now, but if it's not here now, it might be, you know, with these updates, there's like 4 aftershock updates that usually come, so it could be snuck in there. So hopefully we'll have that available to everyone very soon, but still got some quality Dota happening over here on Beyond the Summit. Vega Squadron taking on Ninjas in Pajamas. So where we left off, Ninjas in Pajamas had a struggling start game number 1, managed to pull it back with their tiny wisp, and now our match point. Vega Squadron need to put together a win here if they want to take it to a game number 3 and prolong their Summit 3 life.
Absolutely. The single limb that we always go back to. This is just the Phase 1 pre-qualifier to make it into the actual EU qualifier. So it's quick and it's dirty, and it is going by pretty damn quick. Here we go. Sniper Earthshaker, the opener for Ninjas in Pajamas. They banned out the Wisp themselves. They did not have first pick this go around, so they don't want to hand it over to the Vega Squadron. Vega will pick up Axe Rubik. Pretty scary duo. They picked up the Axe last game. It was played by 9 Pasha. I know it's a hero he plays a lot and usually in his comfort zone, but did seem a little off last game. I got to be honest. He missed quite a few of the Berserker's calls, missed quite a few dunks, and just had a rough game altogether, it felt like.
Yeah, there was definitely that moment in the mid lane where they had a beautiful start, a beautiful setup, and unfortunately there just wasn't enough of the follow through. The potential was there, but if you want to be able to get the win, you got to get the job done. So it didn't happen for them, but they're looking to kind of keep their heads up, shake that one off, and bounce back here. Axe Rubik, a nice strong foundation to lead things in. And NiP, though they don't have the benefit of the first pick this time, they're not going to risk anything banning out the Wisp. Sniper's a solid start. Vega probably not consider going down the road of picking up a Shadow Fiend to contest him, but instead need to get more gap closing. They already have it with Axe here, who I wager could be their off-lane kind of a get-up, but they still have options. Oh, I was going to say Source Spirit, but it must have been just banned. Okay, so we have to look somewhere else. Late game, PA is always a popular pick to go against Sniper, so we'll see what kind of emphasis they put on going against this this bearded ugly freak.
His bearded double. There are a lot of beards in Dota in general. I guess
a lot of beards in this game already.
Yeah, I guess Axe doesn't really count as a. Do mutton chops count as a beard?
It's
I'm
like
not
the
sure.
Hugh Jackman on steroids.
Yeah, I guess that's a beard. It's facial hair, so it counts.
I bet Rubik has a beard under that mask.
Probably. He's at least got a mustache. Just look at that spotty dog. He looks like the handlebar mustache type.
Yeah. Skywrath Mage, no beard. I bet he has a beard downstairs though. He just...
Well, he's got those hawk-like legs, so I'd imagine so. The clean-shaven Skywrath, though, joining the Earthshaker. We've seen this combo so many times, Dakota. It's a classic pairing for good reason. Damn potent. Ancient Seal with all that magic damage, long-range poke of a wide variety. And a lot of range on this NiP squad. Off to a good start. We'll see how they want to round it out. They need a good frontliner to some sort of a disable ultimate. You know, like a Void could be really good here.
That's exactly who I was going to say. I think that I wouldn't put it past him to get something like an off-lane Void setup here. Sniper adds so much. Skywrath, it's just kind of the classic peanut butter and jelly of a combo. And yeah, you get that frontliner. You don't get a lot of meat though, but we'll have to see. I was going to say Bristle, but he's already been taken out. A lot of good options that unfortunately have been passed over for now. Other worthy notes is the fact that Jug has also been ignored up to this point. And I'm not too sure how much he would really add to the game. Both teams need that position still filled, so could be an option. We'll have to see if Vega go for it here.
Yeah, a lot of options. They go with the Lion, so they get some more initiation here. 2 great initiators and their supports. Both will want Blink Daggers at some point. We haven't seen as much Lion recently, but still potent as ever, and should bode well for Vega Squadron. Their draft's still a little open-ended also. Will probably be an off-lane Axe, so just looking for those last 2 cores with their final picks. NiP, most likely the Sniper headed towards mid. I think that's destined to be your limp hero if I had to guess. What does Era have in store this mine? Could it be a Wispless Tiny? Just a casual Tiny pick? That would be fun. Beat him with a Wisp, then beat him without one?
Yeah, that'd be pretty impressive. He's one of the few people who could probably pull out such a feat like that, so I wouldn't mind seeing it, but still a lot of options that Era has gone for in the past. He himself is also a PA picker from time to time, but I feel like at that point you're putting a lot into the damage output, but not a lot into too much defense there. So they might look to save the Era pick for last at this point. And you also have to consider that you're going against an Axe and a Rubik, so you can't be anything that's too BKB dependent because you might have some trouble, and you don't want to get anything that could be an easy handover to Rubik to take advantage of. So seeing these kind of picks, it makes you really think extra hard about what is the smart choice.
Yeah.
Now think.
I still think Void is very good for NiP here. They could put him in the safe lane or the off lane. A lot of different options there. Very flexible pick. Maybe it seems like NiP don't like to draft heroes that they are really reliant around their ultimate cooldown, like where they have to fight around Void's ultimate and it being available. They seem to like the more spammable heroes, kind of like your sniper, for example, who can kind of always fight. Your Venomancer a little bit less reliant on his ultimate cooldown, a slightly shorter cooldown as well. They take the Centaur, so Brad will probably be headed to the off lane. Okay.
Man, that's been a while.
Yeah,
I'm looking over the. I'm looking at it now. It's not in their top pickup here. Let me see if I can find it exactly here for NiP. It seems to be Centaur Warner only 3 matches. They are undefeated with him in those 3 matches, 3-0, so they know how to use the hero here, but it's definitely something that we haven't seen thrown back into rotation. I remember just the last time I was planted out at the house, I think it was for Summit 2 quals. That's when he was really in his platinum prime. It was the horse god, they were saying. Big bad Brad, always in the first pick, first ban kind of rotation. But nowadays, just really not there. Just maybe as something to fall back on. But it's funny to see even like Tidehunter now being ignored over something like Centaur. Just that's Dota for you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Where really, like, you can look at the offlane position as far as who's rotated in and out. Axe was just like a fun pick back in the day. Like, oh my goodness, an Axe, we might see the Slam Jam. Now it's like Axe every game, Slam Jam. Okay, cool, neat. Thanks, dank memes, whatever. So we'll see it all the time.
Venge and Tide are 2 heroes in this that have this weird love-hate relationship with Captain's Mode, where they go from like first pick, first ban every game to totally ignored, and it just oscillates over the years. 2 heroes with very unique mechanics that in certain metas absolutely can't be ignored, and in others are borderline useless. So it is a fascinating game, always alive, always evolving. That's one of the hardest things to explain to people that don't understand esports. It's like, why do people like watching the same game over and over? I'm like, well, because it's not the same game over and over. That's what makes it so great. There's seemingly infinite possibilities.
So for final options here, now that they have a front liner here, NiP, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to even consider something like a Drow maybe on the side. Things get a bit greedy at that point, but there's a lot of intense right click there and at the ready, and they have fallen back on the hero a couple of times. Lycanthrope, another option that Era has picked up. So we'll see if they go for one of the 2, or maybe they look to pull out something new, something that Vega had done already. Slark is a popular hero in his own right, of course, but Vega have only used it twice with a 1-win, 1-loss history. So some of these teams are just kind of throwing some new mixes in, given the fact that who really knows what they've been running in their scrim play. But we're looking to round things out here. Final ban, by the way, Vega, they got rid of the Viper, and NiP got rid of the Zeus.
So, running low on bonus time here. It's the Bat Rider final pick.
Safe lane Centaur, I think.
Yeah, Era Centaur, I think, is most likely. So they'll look to secure a fast Blink Dagger on him to control some tempos. And I do like this, though. It's not the same as the Faceless Void or Ravage, something else that can make space for the Sniper. But this, I think, is just as good. You've got 2 Blink Dagger initiators who can be in the front lines, peel heroes off the Sniper, and well, kind of give him that nice buffer zone. You've even got the Earthshaker as well to help disengage, throw out a fissure to break things up. They've got a lot to protect their big damage dealer.
That makes more sense. It seems like their intentions were to lead in with a Centaur as a safe lane position. It's just nowadays when you kind of have trouble in that off lane, at least you have these kind of heroes where you can fall back in the jungle to work with, whether it's Axe, whether it's Bat Rider, hell, even Tidehunter at least had the ancient stacks. So they have Bat Rider to do that kind of a job, though I say that, I don't know, really. I mean, Limp is now on the Centaur. We have Era on the Sniper. I mean, we already, based on stats alone, Centaur is just something newer that they're putting into their mix. This seems to be something fresh. They do have a game to spare coming in with a win already. So it looks like this is going to be something that Vega might have to prepare for. Their last pick, by the way, No one picking another flashy kind of a hero this go around with the puck.
No one's playing the puck this game. I guess it's going to be a robot doing it. We'll see how he fares. We haven't seen too much puck as of late. I feel like Starladder was the last hurrah of puck, where we saw him picked up a fair bit. It was a disaster, and now everyone's like, let's take a break from the Fairy Dragon. Let's give this guy a global cooldown here. Let him sit back, refresh, and we'll come back to him. I'm excited. I like seeing puck. And I like seeing him in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, I love those style kind of heroes here. But we are paused for now. Shout out to whoever that guy was. I don't even want to try pronouncing that name. But
Lennart, let's see, what does the A with 2 dots sound make? Jekyll? Yeah, it's like Jekyll. The A with 2 dots makes a similar sound to the E for Americans.
Cool.
I know, isn't that neat? Oh.
Jake.
Lennart
Jake.
I like learning how to pronounce words in other languages. Even though I don't know what they mean, it's fun to like know. It would be really nice to go to Ukraine and be able to just look at the Cyrillic and know what sounds it makes, so you can kind of point and say stuff to people, you know. But easier said than done.
Yeah. Did they say why we're paused? It was a pause, and we're like, okay, everyone, we're paused.
We're
Let's
just
accept
paused.
it.
Our Zeke paused
no one's
it
like,
out.
everyone's in the game. No one had a DC. It's just a moment of prayer.
Somebody had to go potty.
The national anthem is being played, apparently. I mean, I know that's but might need a moment. But here we go. Looks like whatever they need to do, they got it done, and they didn't get it done. They need to go back and do it again. So
I think they wanted to just double check, make sure NiP are ready to go before they resume. Make sure none of them hopped up for a glass of water to use the facilities, anything like that. Sorry for all chat. How do I chat to just spectators? I actually don't know how. I either get... Oh, is it
just
team?
Spectators just enter. Just don't hit shift, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
There you go.
Team. I didn't realize I was on a team with the spectators. Okay, there you go.
Gave him the manner dot. Nice.
The manner dot. Let him know. Papa Dreyich.
Hey.
This is our lobby. All right, watch out. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, good sir. Okay.
Yeah. JTS gonna get you.
Whoa, so Limp actually takes the Centaur. He'll be headed to the safe lane here. That puts Era on the Sniper, headed towards the mid. Seal Kid, the AK Racer. He's here on the Skywrath Mage. And you got Handskin on the Earth Shaker. That puts Jonas on the off-lane Bat Rider, where he will be probably by his lonesome, spending a lot of time in the jungle. I reckon this safe lane try will be difficult for him.
And on your dire side, we have the Vega Squadron, sponsored by G2A, apparently. And we've got on your Slark here, Tapo, but you said the correct pronunciation is Tron.
Yep, Tron, something like that.
Great movie, so I like respect that, Slark. And also, we're going to have Seema the Slayer going to be playing your support Rubik. Nearby, we got no one playing Puck. We got Arzek. Sorry, that was
Arzek.
Arzek. There it is. Arzek going to be playing your Lion, and to round things out, we have Axe, who's going to be playing by Nine Posh.
Yeah, I go with the Pasha. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that one. It's tricky. I do like that Axe has, though. Very stylish. It's a bit uncommon, but yeah, the Ram's head blade. Oh boy, is that baby nice. Ooh,
Limp is like, I don't want any piece of that.
Yeah, he gets the Axe, and he'll just back it on up. Centaur still hasn't skilled anything yet. Looks like it'll be the off-lane Axe as we saw in the game prior, so that leaves the Puck mid, and then Slark solo farming the safe lane for now. I think supports will rotate up and rendezvous with him. But should be interesting. NiP basically going to let Slark free farm in exchange for Limp getting a lot of space in the safe lane. They can outgreed it. I think they can afford to spend 10 minutes getting the Blink Dagger on the Centaur as well as the Bat and not slowing down the Slark. But once that happens, NiP need to put some effort into slowing down Tron's farm. We've seen what can happen when a Slark is left uncontested, gets a 5-minute minus, and snowballs out of control, and it ain't pretty.
Early stack's going to be happening from Handskin in the jungle, but bottom lane is where all the testosterone's at. It was a lead-in brawl between Axe and Centaur, but here comes Seal Kid helping out his Centaur buddies, zoning back this Axe, and that is going to be a bit troublesome for him. One of the few heroes that can get close, not too close to Axe to really make sure he's going to be put in his place, and it looks like he might be hightailing it already back to the jungle. Doesn't want any more to do with that. So Centaur's now going to have free roam in the bottom lane to work with. And that's good. This is the start to getting a nicely timed Blink Dagger, and that's when you look to make a big impact.
Jonas had some trouble here. He went for the sticky level 1, no Firefly. The auto attacks are enough for the first blood. Our Zeke on the Lion, he draws it. And that'll be nice early boot secured for him. Just a misplay from Jonas, underestimating the power they can put out. While we're looking at that, mid lane, no one finds a solo kill on the sniper as a level 3 puck. Holy Toledo, how is that possible, Dakota?
He was way out of position, it looked like, and no one just kind of got the upper hand, and it's sniper after all. It's not like he has any sort of escape mechanism, and help wasn't here. You know,
yeah,
Earthshaker's been on kind of stacking duty, help pulling on the bottom lane, and you know he's one of those heroes that you need to make sure you're close enough and back and forth, and this just doesn't stop. They find more blood. Top lane, Batrider goes down again. Back-to-back kills. Jonas, a bit of a repeat in the last game with his Phoenix, unfortunately. Just seems to have a struggling start.
What is going on here? Again, Era goes back to the lane, and as I tab to the top, he just loses all of his HP. Puck doesn't even do that much damage yet. He's only level 4. This is turning into a very crazy game and some deja vu from the first game in this series of Vega Squadron going ahead early. And then, well, last time it was NiP that struck back in the mid-game. This go-around, they don't quite have that obvious late-game advantage. No Tiny Wisp where they can sit back and say, well, we can lose the laning phase, recover in the mid-game, then win in the late game. Here it needs to be a little more neck and neck, and they'll try to recover with a smoke rotation onto the puck mid.
They definitely have a lot of range to work with. Now, at level 2, though, Skywrath Mage doesn't have his silence, and that would certainly help against Puck. Puck is one of the most, if not the most, elusive hero to gank in the mid lane. They may have the initiation factor with Hanskin and a long link Fisher, but the follow-up is not going to be there unless they have a silence. They might even need to get at least 2 or 3 levels into that silence before they can get anything done.
Era getting bested in the mid lane here. 8-2 on CS versus the 12-10 on the puck as no one takes some lane control back, even bottles up a double damage rune. They've completely sacked the off lane now. Tron is in free farm heaven, racking up those last hits. Actually, a couple behind the Centaur, but that's because he was spending some time playing around with Jonas. He did at least find his level 2 now, and Jonas will just move into the jungle, taking out a double stack here with some of that sticky napalm stacked up.
Era able to sidestep the orb damage. Puck actually commits to it, but with the double damage, she's eating some good damage on the return, though, with the shrapnel. It's enough to scare her back and away, and the fists don't stop flying here in the mid lane, or in this case, the gun and the whatever the hell Puck is shooting. And, well, with that...
That would be fairy magic, Dakota.
Fairy magic. Okay, well, fairy magic being used is the shrapnel reigns above, tries to orb to the high ground to at least get a quick hit. If that would have connected, he probably would have committed for it, but there's
Dream
the coil. Uh-oh, this is the level advantage he already got taking down Era before, and he's going to finish him off again. Very strong start. Vega Squadron, man, they know how to really turn it up in the early game. It's just a matter of being able to hold on to this momentum they keep getting for themselves.
All right, now Era, he's going to have to be in recovery mode this game. We're 4 minutes in, only 10 last hits. That is bad news bears for your sniper. He is broke, boots, and a Wraith Band halfway through level 4. Meanwhile, Puck halfway through level 6. Quite the disparity there. Limp, leading farmer on the Radiant side, almost level 6. Looks like he'll head to the mid lane and do the old switcheroony with Era, who takes over the bottom lane just to have somewhere safe to farm. I think it's the right call to try and switch it up, but how much is this going to hurt Limp now? You're sacrificing his Blink Dagger timing potentially to make sure Era gets his feet wet with some farm.
Yeah, you just have to make the choice. It's either between getting a secured Blink Dagger or getting a terrible, terrible star on your sniper, who's pretty much going to be the star of the show later in the game. So they put more value in making sure he can get a head start here. But Limp, now coming to the mid lane, is going to be warmly welcomed with a Vega gank. They get the telekinesis. The stun follow-up's going to be there. Beautifully timed. Oh, the Stampede goes off, but they can't escape no one. Well, they can't escape Vega. But with that said, they get their kill. Vega now up to a 5-0 advantage. Deja vu, as you said before. We'll see, though, as Vega try to hold on to it.
Yeah, we'll see if this story has a different ending. Axe having some fun in the jungle, has his tranquils up. Halfway through level 4, how does that compare to the Batrider? Only slightly ahead of the Axe. He does have a stack to work on here. Looks like a triple stack for himself. And we'll just start getting that sticky going to continue farming. So both offlaners happy to have some sort of relegation in the jungle where they can find some farm. Looks like Slark does want Hand of Midas. 6 minutes in, 1,500 gold. Not the fastest Midas timing, but still pretty damn good as Era looks to recover in the safe lane. At least he's getting some farm now.
Yeah, but the thing is Vega already have a lot going for them. They already have the coil up. They're looking to use it every time it is up and ready, and they have already. No one makes his return back to mid, has the coil up once more. So we'll see if they immediately go for another gank. But all the meanwhile, Axe is also finding some good farm. He had a triple stack to work through, and he's going to get some fair timing on a Blink Dagger after already forfeiting his off lane. So once it's already troubling with this puck, now it's going to continue to struggle as Axe will be able to come online.
Yeah. Limp is halfway through level 6 now, 900 gold towards the Blink Dagger. Definitely harboring his timing a bit. We'll see if it's on point with the Bat Rider. He's found his level 6, brown boots with a bottle, and now 900 gold. They are about on point with each other and the Axe at this stage of the game. Now a smoke from NiP. They'll rotate towards the mid. And it could be the right time. Orb's been used aggressively by the puck. There's the Stampede, and they go right on the puck. Dream Coil comes out, but only connects on the Centaur. Doesn't seem to make much of a difference. Now the lasso locks down no one. Zeke up on the high ground gets stunned. Huge damage coming his way, and it'll be NiP that get on the board here at the 7-minute mark with a double kill in the mid lane. Rubik walks his way over. Telekinesis back. The AK Racer, Mr. Seal Kid himself. But he'll be okay. No, he won't. Fade Bolt as he reinitiates. That was a bit ambitious. Now Handskin blocks him out with a fissure, isolates 9 Pasha by himself, and they will head back to safety. Could have been a clean 2-0, but they do concede their Skywrath and get about a 900 net worth gain out of it as a team.
Yeah, that's NiP finding the opportunity to know when they could take advantage before Axe gets his Blink Dagger together, and while they seem they have the number advantage, they swarm with 4 just to finally get themselves on the board. They know Vega can have a trouble coming back after getting a few deaths in there, maybe just trying to poke at him a bit early on, but with that they continue to create space for Era, who had a really hard start as he continues to work with this uncontested bottom lane. Limp is just trying to recover now and get back on the path towards a Blink Dagger there, but now it's looking like he is going to be on par with the Axe. Axe is right behind him, but he's still working through his stack. We could see both of these big bad boys look to initiate and fight at the same time.
Yeah, it could really erupt right around that 10-minute mark into some serious aggression. Limp 1600, Bat Rider 1600. Yeah, all right. Everyone just keeps on farming. A little rune control going the way of NiP. They'll get this 8-minute invisibility in the bottle of the Bat Rider. This is a pretty scary rune hero combination at this stage of the game. Could make up for that lack of Blink Dagger. Stampede used in the mid. Looks like they want to go on the puck. Not on that, off to the side. They bring the puck down right away, but now Handskin trying to make the retreat. Slark comes pouncing on in. Dark Pact will do a lot of damage to Limp, but the pounce does not connect with any kind of a tether. Goes into his ultimate form, but hit by a Mystic Flare as well as a Fissure. Will not find any kills out of it. Jonas already reveals the invisibility rune, and it will just be a quick pick on the puck. 1-0. NiP walks away happy with their spoils.
It's just such an interesting window of time to kind of do these kind of fights. You'd think that the team, initially you'd think the team is like, okay, I'm only 400 away, then we got Blink Daggers, you know? Then it's just the Blink Battle Royale that's going to be happening between both sides. But maybe one team is like, well, listen, if we do get the upper hand here while they don't have a Blink and engage, and we win, we get our Blinks first, and then maybe we could just continue to beat their ass over and over again. But they don't quite get a lot here, unfortunately.
Well, you know who's been punished? It's this puck. He started off so strong, but now he's died back-to-back times. He's on brown boots looking to rush a Blink Dagger, and he's only at 1100 gold. Limp's going to have it way ahead of him at this rate. I think this rotation that NiP made was really smart. Era's been pretty quiet, but now he's found some recovery farm. He's caught up with the rest of the pack, still behind the Slark, still behind, but about even with the puck, rather, is the point I wanted to make. So NiP adapting well and glancing at the graph. It was about a 3,000 net worth lead for Vega. Now it's only about 1,800. So they are clawing their way back into this game slowly but surely. Also want to reiterate, this is game number 2. NiP taking game number 1. Looks like the network reset our little tick marks there, so sorry about that, as we did have to rehost the lobby. But NiP is up 1-0 in this best of 3, rest assured.
It's just funny to see. It's a pretty much a mirror match here between styles of both teams. You got your Slark, who continues to farm up top lane, going down the Midas route. Era making advantage of the bottom, but all the meanwhile, you got Blink initiators on both sides. Centaur and Bat Rider looking to get their Blinks right now and be the ones to lead out the charge. On the side of Vega, you got your Puck and your Axe. The second that these all come together, it's just going to be fireworks. I mean, we're at the 10-minute mark now. From here on out, things are going to get pretty ugly pretty fast as the Blinks and the mobility comes together.
It's the Bat Rider. He gets it first, Dakota. He wins the race, and he gets a smoke with it. What can Jonas do? He's hungry. There's the Centaur. He's number 2. They're coming in hot as they move through the finish line. How's Axe looking? He's at 22-37. He'll have his third. Maybe in time for this fight. Yep, Puck's going to be dead last. Tron uses a Shadow Dance to finish off the tower. The last hit still goes to the Dire. Now they may try to initiate on him. There it is. Fissure and the Stampede forward. Nice stun from the Lion, but it's not enough. The Dark Pack gets rid of the lasso. There's the dunk to make sure the Slippery Slark does not get away. Stolen by Seema. Returns huge damage, but can't find any kills. It's a 2-0, but some close calls with a lot of red and yellow HP Radiant heroes.
That is what happens when you get your Blink Dagger first and you look to engage first. Had Vega had any of those Blink boys nearby, it would have just quickly gone the other way. They're making use of the Blink, though, or potentially they're set in the mid lane. Coil's going to be dropped onto the Sniper. They know Era's at his lonesome after a very wounded fight from the rest of the NiP squad. They capitalize on that mid lane and they get the job done. Now Blinks are complete, but here comes Bat. Flame Break going to be juked right there, and now he makes his jump trying to pull Bat into the others, but it's not going to get him close enough for the stun of their Lion. So now things are going to get very, very spicy.
Limp goes in onto Seema, hits him with a Blink rotation. In comes Jonas, and won't be able to find what he's looking for. Now Nine Pasha goes in. Limp gets blown up by a finger. That'll be a kill going the way of the Axe. So now a 2-0 the other way, but in the mid lane as Vega get a few more kills up going on their side of the board. Looks like all the Blink Daggers have come out, 2 apiece. Axe and Puck grabbed theirs for that little exchange in the mid. So things are erupting as predicted here, Dakota.
Yeah, and it's a matter of which team. I mean, Slark, he is going to go for the Aquila, it looks like, as he had the Wraith Band there on hand that's now going to potentially be sent out, and then he can move on to a mobility item. And at that point, Slark gets involved with these fights. Sniper, unless the fight happens to be nearby, he's going to pretty much be doing his own thing for now, trying to avoid that kind of confrontation at all costs, because it's already going to be hard enough as it is. With all these Blink Daggers, he is in trouble. He has to make sure he plays it very passive and safe and sneaks out for farm. Doesn't really be in the engagement. So with that, Vega could have the upper hand as far as numbers go in a lot of these fights and could look to try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think Yasha will be in his near future. Era will probably just go for this glass cannon style of build. He's got the maxed out take aim, only the value point and headshot for now. But I would imagine like Yasha, Mask of Madness, these kind of just sit back, lay in the shrapnel, and a couple of auto attacks as well. I always want to call snipers auto attacks shrapnel, like pumping slugs into him, but he has an ability called shrapnel. It's very confusing.
No, I understand. But I wonder if he also considers going for maybe a Blink in this game. Favoring that much positioning, jump in, Blink back from the Puck to avoid trouble, but he ends up getting welcome from a lasso right there. Locked in place, Skywrath Mage drops the ultimate, and they take down the Fairy, and now it's Limp on the way out. They just want to get the one-man hit and run, but Vega doesn't want to let him go, but they will be forced to, as they can't quite catch up. Just, this is where things are going to keep happening here. Cooldowns finish, we move in, we blink, and we make something happen. It's NiP who get it done both times now.
Yeah, this is 2 games in a row now where NiP are just really good at identifying the weak points in Vegas Squadron. And in this matchup, it's the Puck. Puck went for Brown Boots right into Blink with just 1 null tally that he had at the start. And this is a very glass cannon-y kind of Puck build. Very risky to not get the power treads. And they know that he's an easy kill if they can catch him out a little too far forward, especially without an orb, only 1 point in phase shift. He's that Achilles heel, and they just keep on poking it. Now reinitiation down bottom. Rubik and Lion go down right away as Limp initiates. Very well done. At the blink of an eye, the 2 supports of the Vegas Squadron become corpses.
They just think it's an easy grab on Seal Kid, but he gets a nice silence on the Lion. That's not going to allow the stun. And with the follow-through from Handskin on his Earthshaker with the Fisher setup, Limp is easily able to jump on in and just squash the support. Lion gets dropped immediately, Rubik thereafter, and with that, NiP take control back in this game. And we're going to be breaking even after what was, a 5-6-0 start for Vega? We're 8-8 now, Zyori. This is the comeback, and this is what it's made of here. Yeah. Vega, they don't want to do what they did before. They want to make sure they hold strong. They need Slark to build up even more at this point so he can really have Sniper's number and just mow on through the rest of this NiP group.
Yeah, look at this gold graph. It tells a pretty keen story. It was as much as a 4,000 net worth lead for the Dire, and now it's only down to 1,000. It's actually NiP that has 2,000 XP in the lead right now. Puck, level 11. Moving very aggressively about the Radiant jungle. Without a Dream Coil, this feels like a pretty risky play, given how many times he's already been picked off. these last few skirmishes. Tier 1 tower down bottom will take some damage, but NiP coming in to contest. 9 Pasha ventures way too far forward. Ancient Seal and a Mystic Flare, more than enough damage to bring him down. Now Bat Rider finds Puck. Lion as well. It's a fast 3-for-0. Seam the Slayer on the run, but he'll get assassinated by the sniper, and then a couple of right clicks will be all they need to bring him down. That's a dead Grand Magus. 4-for-0. It's not even a trade. It's just domination here all over the map as NiP move further ahead.
NiP, man, they are just in position and ready. They just read the map. They read the game so well. And Vega, poor Vega, man, they have Axe leading out the charge, but the second he sees trouble, he gets shot somewhere or hit by something, concussive shot, maybe a lingering auto attack from Sniper, and then his blink is rendered useless, and they easily just turn over onto him. And when that's your big meat shield of a hero being taken down, it's going to be disaster from there on out. NiP just kind of literally stampede their way over the rest of them and walk away with an easy 4-man drop. Now they're the ones ahead, 12-8. They're sitting pretty. They already have those blink daggers. They're moving on to those next items. Vega are just trying to hoping to scrap something up. Axe desperately wants to get this blade mail. If he can reflect back a lot of this damage, especially something like your Skywrath Mage ultimate, it could certainly help.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm more curious when this Slark is going to come online. I think Tron is more of a Blink Dagger kind of Slark guy rather than the Shadow Blade that Illidan tends to go for. We'll see, but he needs to start coming online soon. We're 17 minutes in. His team needs him. He's farming well, but everyone else is just falling further and further behind. Point in case right here. Axe just picked off as he tries to jungle aggressively in the Radiant side, and sure, Slark is farming, but NiP farming just as well.
Unmerciful Dota 2 announcer, ownage, as NiP have pretty much just taken this game back, and they're comfortable at this point. They feel good as a 4-man hit squad outside of Sniper if they'd like, and taking down Axe back-to-back times certainly helps. But there's the Blink Dagger, there's the mobility from Slark. No pressure, my man, but this game could be on you to really try to bring it back. This is now momentum being built up so well for NiP that just a little bit more effort, they easily wipe, and they still haven't even taken a lot of towers, mind you. They've only taken the one bottom. They take out these 2 in the mid lane. They could probably easily secure a Roche, but top lane, yep, that's where action breaks out. Yellow's going to be dropped immediately, so they are able to get one thing back, but are they going to walk away? No, they get shot. That's the Slark going down, trying to make the best with his Blink Dagger. Yeah, sure, you got something, but you got to be able to walk away and not die to make it count.
And here we go. It's not done yet. Limp gets initiated on by Axe. There is a Puck nearby. Limp's pretty damn tanky, though. I don't know. He's the target you want to go on. There's that little hop forward. He gets the dunk. So they will find the better of this exchange, but it was Earthshaker that got that first kill on the Slark, and that secures his Blink Dagger. An 18-minute blink on this support Earthshaker from Handskin. He's also level 11. He's found a lot of farm. He's 3-0-7 for Christ's sake. Okay, that's where all that gold came from. And now this will be another tool that Vega will have to deal with, and it will not be easy.
I like that the friendly flame break is what helped bump Axe forward to kill his teammate.
Yeah.
That was fun. But yeah, very good timing on your Earthshaker. Lion, though, is there with him. He's got his Blink Dagger now, too. So for a team that's been pretty much getting run over in this mid game, they found a way to get Lion at least some farm. Well, you better buy it. He bought it. Oh, quick reaction. Oh god, the flying frog.
Jonas didn't even have a lasso up yet. I don't know what the plan was there. It was still on cooldown for 5 seconds. Now Sealkid could get left behind. Nice flame break. Hits Tron right in the face, and he'll be backed off into the ravine there. Nicely played, though. Still an awkward initiation.
Yeah, I didn't know I didn't click on him, I guess. I didn't know he did not have a lasso.
It was about 5 seconds until it was coming up, so it was right around the corner, but I don't know if he was expecting something different to happen. If you blink in without a lasso into a Lion, you're going to get stunned or hexed pretty much right away if that's the case.
Yeah. If it was a little further away from the tier 2 and there's nothing TPS,
there we go. This time,
lane,
shows off that lasso. Ancient Seal, Mystic Flare, and a maxed out Flame Break to secure the kill. It's Jonas picking up another one, and now he's on a killing spree.
I even like that they use the Stampede to have Bat just really isolate him and pull him back in a way. Uh-oh. L1 in trouble. Boom! Gets dunked on after Air is easily able to unload the pot shots from above. That Fairy Head's going to look mighty nice on this sniper's wall as he's able to get the quick pick there. This was a sniper who was struggling at the start, getting bullied by this little Puck. Now he gets revenge.
Yeah, smart play from Handskin just to drop the dunk on a single target. Just make sure he doesn't get away. Oh, Skywrath gets dropped by RZeek, showing off that Blink Dagger. blasts him with a finger, and it's basically a one-shot. Now Jonas on the run. Should be able to make it out with that Force Staff. Blink Dagger up in just a second. Yeah, that'll be fine, but... Well, Lion revealing the Blink Dagger, and at least he gets a kill out of it, so good news there for the Dire. Oh, mid lane now. Era initiated on by 9 Pasha. He does have the Blade Mail. Tron comes in, will blink forward, secures the dunk, and now they end that sniper's killing spree. Vega Squadron showing us they've got a sign of life as they pick up 2 kills around the map and group up for a push on this tier 1 tower mid. Preemptively glyphed, but this baby's going down.
Yeah, all right, Vega. They're still showing that they got some life. They get kills, they get towers. They know Earthshaker has got no big old fancy dunk and echo. He used it on the puck previously, so this is their chance to take advantage of it. And they follow through, but they're not going to potentially get away. Stampede is they're able to move on in. They grab a hold of that Rubik, bring him right back, and take him down. Mystic Flare, though.
Yeah, a little bit of an airball, but they still get the Rubik, so that's okay. Vega Squadron, they want vengeance for their fallen comrades. No one jaunts aggressively, knowing there isn't a Stampede, I guess feeling a little bit more safe, but... Okay, that'll be the end of it. Sniper for Rubik. One big issue here for Vega Squadron, though, it seems they're not really getting objectives. They're striking back with kills, they're making their presence known, they can still be combative, but they're not really pushing towers. They've got 2 down so far, compared to the 1 of NiP. They haven't really taken Roche. I don't know, I guess they need to secure more farm on this Slark. He's got an Ogre Club coming, so possibly S&Y, possibly BKB, but... This seems to be the trap that they get stuck in, where they have a really strong early game, but then in the mid game, they don't seem to have a great strategy in sealing the deal, getting those structures down, and finding a way to actually take a victory when you get to that late game.
Yeah, it could definitely be questionable. NiP are finally getting on their own bandwagon, though, following up, and they're able to get their own objectives complete. So with that, both teams, I guess, just kind of got the memo, and they take out bottom tier 1, and NiP take out the mid tier 1. Now they look towards the top tier 1. It's just finally as if, like, okay, guys, we had our blinks, we used them, we killed a lot, we got a lot of kills, we showed them off. Let's actually take down towers. Let's actually play Dota right now.
Let's do some objective gaming.
Yeah, go for the Ancient. I think that's what matters. I mean, it's been a bloodbath so far, which is certainly a crowd pleaser in its own right, but we got to remember this is a game, after all, where you got to make it into the base.
Those are some pretty sick malt notes there. It is all about the throne, Dakota. That is some some deep analysis. NiP.
You never know. We might have a lingering.
That's true. That is true.
CS goer coming into the stream.
What's all this fighting for? What are they actually fighting? What is going on here? What's
Whose
the
dragon
deal?
are they trying to slay?
Yeah. Well, NiP get a good trade out of that. They trade 2 tier 1s, or, well, they get 2 tier 1s in exchange for just theirs at the bottom lane. So now tower count is leveled out 3 apiece. All the tier 1s dead, all the tier 2s still standing. So everyone just continues to farm away. Yule's Scepter completed on the Bat Rider, just needs to get a turn with the Courier. No one looking for a Yule's of his own on the puck, but still hasn't seen too much item progression. Very curious what Tron has in mind with this Ogre Club. I think BKB, very warranted here. Huge amount of magic damage on NiP. Though, does leave a concern for damage output. They need this Slark to do a lot of big damage, and if he goes mostly defensive items, he may not have the damage output they need to take these mid-game skirmishes the way they like. That's one of the nice things about going the Shadowblade Slark is it gives you that mobility similar to the Blink Dagger, but also gives you extra damage and extra attack speed to be that much more combative.
There'll always be at least that little bit of a window before the other team recognizes you have that Shadow Blade that they'll finally be able to get on getting dust and sentries. And you'll have a period of time where you can play pretty aggressive and be able to get away from it. Blink, though, if you jump in, you get caught, or you get hit by some sort of lingering bits of damage, then the plan is going to be thwarted. But they make the jump. They catch one man left behind. That was Lion, just a little too far from his family.
Don't blink, Dakota.
They make him pay.
You might miss it.
Yeah, I did. I did miss it. It was just like I looked on the minimap. I'm like, that pink is nowhere near the rest of Dire. He's dead. Oh, jump forward after the Force and Blink, and it's not going to quite catch the Axe. They go walk away.
Yeah, fast reaction from the Axe, and NiP will stay grouped up. That was a smoke, a rotation they had to pick off the Lion, so probably hoping for a little bit more than that with a 5-hero smoke, though they will be okay with it. Era with a very interesting build on this sniper, not going for the Mask of Madness, but instead the Helm of the Dominator after S and Y. So obviously gives you a little bit of extra damage, just some raw survivability with that extra bout of armor, but not an item you see picked up on the sniper very often.
No, definitely not, because he wants to be able to get a lot of shots in there, and it doesn't add any more to his attack speed. Thankfully, adds bits of damage, bits of armor, but we'll have to see where he decides to take it from there. Just favoring a bit more survivability, it would seem. Just probably expecting that they will eventually get a hold of him. They will get to him somehow, some way, and he wants to be able to maybe stand up as long as possible and take the fight as long as he can. So for now, he continues to farm up in this mid lane. Looking to converge, though. We got Vega Squadron now smoked up. They have their eyes on the sniper prize here as they migrate towards this mid lane. Yet to really find an opportunity to strike here. If Era oversteps his boundaries just by a little bit, he could be in trouble.
It is indeed an SNY that comes out onto the Slark, so Tron going for a little bit of extra damage and survivability, but it is Era that gets jumped on. Like you said, he gets brought down like a sack of bricks, but NiP are still here. They'll use the Stampede Limp going right in, doing a lot of damage. Lasso and a 9 Pasha pulling him behind the tower. They bring down the Rubik right away. Axe will be the second to fall, and now Tron isolated in the tree line, killed by Handskin. Limp, the big, beefy Centaur, still alive. They'll go for a kill on the puck, but he does blink away. Our Zeke on the low ground gets blasted down by the Centaur, and now they see the puck. He will be able to jaunt to the orb. Does Limp have a blink? No, down for a few more seconds.
Earthshaker does. Earthshaker does. It doesn't cost any mana. Blink.
Nope.
Oh, tries to go for the Enchant Totem instead. A bit riskier. Now he does not have the mana quite yet for the Fissure. It's up now. Can he get the stun off? Oh, the DD's going to be grabbed. The stun's going to be there. Limp moves forward. No. Oh, fake. But no, unfortunately, because of the Fissure, can't turn the corner to get a hold of him. But here comes Bat. Now behind him. Hey, what are you doing there?
What is
now
this?
He's going to chase him down. Oh, God, I got to get to the low ground. But by this point, finally, some of the weaker supports are back from their earlier battle. And
well, that
Puck
was
will
weird.
finally make it away. That was a long chase, O.J. Simpson style, but he makes it away.
Okay, so NiP take that fight. Era gets killed right away, but the rest of the team follows up. The Stampede allows NiP to get exactly where they want to be in that fight, isolate all the other heroes. And for Tron, unfortunately for him, he had to use the Shadow Dance early on to secure his kill on the sniper. So then once the actual fight broke out, he didn't have that reset tool. Your Blink Daggers will going to be perpetually on cooldown. SNY won't really save you from the burst damage of a Centaur. So a noble effort to gank the sniper, but unfortunately for the Dire, it does backfire a fair bit.
Okay, Bat taking flight, sees Axe, grabs Axe, takes him back, right in the handskin, meets him with a club to the face. The two of them might be able to take him down, but it is Sealkid who shows up and helps him out. Jonas is the one to pick up the kill, and they get a really nice 3-man execution there on the Axe.
They certainly do. The ganks continue to come out. Bat Rider, actually the #1 on net worth right now. Jonas having a really good time after dying twice to get this game started. He was the victim of the first blood and died twice in lane. Oh, Courier down bottom. May get sniped by the puck. Jaunts forward to the orb. The Courier dies with no cargo. And we'll just use the Centaur to make the escape. Meanwhile, the Radiant Ancients, yeah, now Tron isolated, silenced inside of a Mystic Flare, brought down our Zeke on the high ground. That's probably not where he wants to be. Jonas playing with Seema the Slayer. Meanwhile, on the low ground, we'll get telekinesed. Is there a way to interrupt him? Hoof stop. It'll be there. And a double edge. They find the kill. Our Zeke does make it out all the while. But it's another 1-for-3 trade. They get the kill on the sniper, but it comes at a heavy cost.
What a nice little save there. Well, quick props to Rubik with the Stolen Fissure. Just manages to throw it down to allow some room for Lion to blink out and TP away, but he does sacrifice his own life, and it is a fight overall that Vega lose the most. They do take down Sniper, but they lose more in numbers. They'd already dropped and lost the Axe, so they didn't really come in as prepared as they'd like for that fight. Slark ended up going down, and then, of course, their Rubik at the end, and it was still a bit of a struggle for them. So NiP, very, very dominant at this point, feeling pretty comfortable, but oh boy, bottom, they get the coil onto Bat. Lion shows up, times out the stun, and they say, that's all we're gonna do, bye. And leave.
Yeah, no finger. Whoa, it's a jaunt forward aggressively. No one needs to be a little careful. He blinks in. This guy's crazy. They won't even go for it. Wow, that was so punishable. The Lion is nearby. He doesn't have a finger, but there is an Axe also. All right. Very risky plays from no one right there.
They had a good start on the Bat, but like they didn't quite have enough, and everyone was like running to get there. And then they're like, okay, they're kind of close enough now. I'll jaunt forward and see if I can maybe get a hold of someone. And then she realized, okay, there's a crap ton of people here. I need definitely that help to get here. And by that point, NiP were like out the door, and it was just a little too late. If they were just in a slightly better position to take that fight, it could have been very promising for Vega.
Yeah. Now the Slark looking for a BKB perhaps. His second Ogre Club picked up now. Going damage items first, and now some survivability against all this magical damage. Slark still farming pretty well. Glancing at the graphs, it's about 7,500 gold, 10,000 XP for the Ninjas in Pajamas right now. This Centaur is still so big, so bold. He's picked up a Reaver, 2,500 HP at only 30 minutes. He's been this massive brick wall on the front lines of every fight, and Vega have just been struggling to deal with him all game. There isn't really a great answer to deal with the Centaur when he's got this kind of momentum and this kind of farm.
Puck. Puck goes up into a sentry ward, thinks he's invis with that rune. The snipe goes off while he's Yuled up, and he's able to shift, gets the coil connection. The dunk's going to be there. It ends up being a 2-for-1 for now, but Era is just primed and ready to unload the right click, and Axe will be brought down. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, they're on a chase to get this pesky little Tron Slark. They can't get a hold of him. He's going to make his way out, but another engagement that works to the better of NiP. Nice little sentry helps them out.
It seems like every one of these team fights is not a true 5v5, but all these little tiny skirmishes. And as we were watching that high ground fight break out, the Batrider got a double kill on the two supports of Vega with the help of Limp, probably setting it up with a hoof stomp double edge combo. So across the fights, it's NiP coming out just completely ahead. Jonas, and look at this guy. He's got everything that he wants. BOTs, Force Staff, Blink, and Yules. Huge mobility. Carrying a gem around, getting map control for his team. Look at the dire vision. They don't have a single ward down on the map right now. Vega is completely blind, taking a risk anytime they move out of range of a tower. You look at the Radiant side, they don't have too many wards down themselves. They've got one outside of their Ancients, but they've at least got the control around the map and the gem to clear out enemy wards. This is scary territory for the dire side.
It just makes that, just to go back what you're talking about, all these fights have mini micro fights within fights, and those fights spread, and it's really hard to keep track of. It's not like basketball where you can just follow the ball and know where the action's going to be. There's action all over the place in a game of Dota, and you can't quite catch it all with even one bird's eye of a view.
Game with 7 Blink Daggers, forget about it, Dakota. Just forget about it.
Without. This is like the ultimate test, but here we go. Coil going to catch and lock 2 in place so they can't pursue, but they're still able to bring down the puck. No one gets killed, but by no one, I mean the puck. And now, instead, they get the jump onto Axe with the Cyclone, time out the chops, and they're going to slowly whittle him away. Lasso's even going to be there, double edge. He's big, so it's going to take quite some muscle and some sweat, but they are finally able to bring him down.
Slark, meanwhile, he got a kill on the Earthshaker, ended that mega kill streak. The Radiant Courier just taunting him, but he will TP out under the tower. So it's a 1-for-2 when the fight settles down. Puck and Axe in exchange for the Earthshaker. I guess ending a streak does tip the scales a little bit for Slark personally, but overall it is a gain for the Ninjas in Pajamas as they continue to further their lead in this game. Every fight, Vega Squadron puts up a good effort. They get a couple of kills or find a trade in most of these, but it's been a while since we've seen a fight where Vega just come out ahead by all margins.
Look how much farm Batrider has.
It's really gross. Oh, Limp now initiated on by Tron. He's big and beefy, though. Pops the Stampede, so allies can get here to help him out. RZ taking a lot of damage from the Skywrath Mage. They force out the 10-second BKB from Tron. It is a stolen Stampede on the Rubik, and they will use it to disengage.
So they make it out using the ultimate there.
But
with their lives, but mid lane they get their pressure, and they get the tier 2. Well, they make it away. They're able to get a hold of Lion, and he goes down. Now Puck's in trouble, and at the same time they're able to last up the Rubik. Meanwhile, Slark making it go on the Sniper. So another fall going to be there. Oh, Sniper gets caught. Very nice call with the jump in there from Max. Walk-in Echo, though, from Hanskin looking to turn it back. Sniper goes down, but 4-drop for Vega, and it's going to be 5. Oh, the last-second dunk wasn't going to be there. Just short, unfortunately. It hits the rim.
Jonas is godlike. 9-2 and 15, 7,200 gold. About a 3K net worth trade in favor of NiP. Now they move to the high ground. Vega Squadron, they've got a couple of buybacks to use if they want to here, but this is just bad. They are really far behind now. That fight almost seals the deal. Puck will burn the buyback. Not enough to save the tier 3 tower, and is this buyback even going to be enough to save the barracks? You have the Lion up in about a second. No one will come in and clear up the creep wave. Needs to be a little careful, though. There's a lot of blink daggers.
Is going to stop him. I think Jonas is just going for the Mushi here. Did he spend his money yet? No, he's got 8K now.
Going for the
try
Mushi.
To break the 10K mark. Just as a nice little offshore account, apparently. He's going to invest for his children's college tuition. I don't even know at this point. It's just
yeah, I mean, he's already got his VOTs. I guess you can go like Shiva's Guard here. It's pretty good.
Refresher if you're the demon. Okay.
Yeah. Lincoln's also really good. Just to apply the buff to one of your teammates, what have you. He could always go for Mask of Madness, one of those weird like luxury items that some Bat Riders like. But it's the Refresher.
Yeah. A little bit of that
Double
demon
lasso,
flavor
dude.
there. Double lasso. Sometimes Bat Riders will have BKB before they get a super luxury refresher. At least you can use that. But hey, double blink, double Yules, double lasso, double boot to travel. Very nice stuff for him. So that is going to be scary to see if you're Vega. I'm sure he's going to hide it in the dark for now. Actually, or not. He's pushing top lane. So they're going to probably click on him and go, what the hell is that? Does he have a refresher orb? All right. Well, they could cut him off here. Lion's moving forward, smoked up, but he's already on the way out.
I think he'll make it. He's got a Force Staff, but Jonas will bump right into the axe. There's no teammates nearby. Oh, Bat Rider, your poor gem. Down it goes. Huge streak ended by the axe. All of a sudden, Pasha's got 2,000 gold. That'll be
Refresh
his Aghanim's.
Whew. Good dunk. So it's a pretty nice bounty right there to slay the bat. And Vega, that could just be the first stepping stone for them to get a bit of momentum, a bit of morale to try to bring this back. Because we were only looking at the Bat Rider's potential farm. I mean, you got Centaur right there behind him. Era's there, still behind the Slark in terms of net worth. But he's starting to bring together some good damage. He's got the crit stick right now, but he has also got some trouble. As Nightmash is able to jump on top of him. Stampede's there to save. Echo return, and they're able to take down the puck. Era's going to be fine. He's got his boys nearby. But the jump in Lasso is going to lock Tron in place, and they're going to take out the Slark next.
GG.
They are done. That's it. That's it. You have it. Ninjas in pajamas, they're going to be your winners. They move on to the next round. Vega, props to them on their play, but they will be taken out 0-2, and their Summit 3 road ends here.
Yeah, NiP just getting the better of them. Both games, though, having that interesting trajectory where the non-NiP team, the Vegas Squadron, ahead by a big margin. I mean, both of those games were like 5-0, 6-0, 8-1, just dominating all over the lanes. I mean, Era was level 4 when Puck was closing in on level 7 in that mid matchup. That's how bad it was, but they stayed calm. They made the rotations. They brought the Centaur mid. They let the Sniper free farm in the bottom, and NiP just slow and steady claw their way back into the game, and hey, they take a victory. So where does that put us coming into tomorrow, Dakota? It will be Virtus Pro versus the Ninjas in Pajamas for the second set of semifinals. And coming up right before that will be the 4 Anchors and Sea Captain going up against the Power Rangers. The single elim bracket continues. That's the semifinals. And then it will be the 2 teams that qualify into the second phase of, I was going to say the main event, but it's really the second phase of the European qualifier here for the Summit 3. So things really heating up, man. It's getting exciting.
I am. I'm getting super excited. This is just a taste of what is to come. This is only, day number 2, technically, of the Summit 3?
Yeah,
and we have a lot of Dota action heading your way. It's just pre-qualifier before we get to the sexy and sweet qualifier. And then the house, this is just a beautiful treat. We're in the appetizer, just maybe kind of nibbling on the bread on the table at this point for the Summit 3. So it's been a pleasure so far. Thanks for having me, as always. I look forward to coming out to the house very soon to be there on site to help out, and should be a lot of fun, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, my friend. I believe tomorrow is Saturday, the day that I'm Dakota-less, so I'll have some remote co-casters join. I think Ryu Boras will be here for at least one of the series, and still looking for a co-caster for the other. So that wraps up today. Hopefully you'll join us again tomorrow. Same place, same time, same deal. There will be Summit 3 SEA pre-qualifiers going on tonight. Also, wishing a happy birthday to David Parker. Ayo, old man, turning 25. Very exciting.
Old.
Send him some love on Twitter. Ha ha ha, yeah, it's sold. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow.